Let's talk some Michigan Wolverines recruiting. Top prospects were on campus for the spring game, including one of their top quarterback targets, Brady Smiggel. Now, there are some interesting developments over the weekend. Derek Zamet, he's a four-star quarterback who committed to Washington. But, Steve, does this impact Smigel's recruitment?
Well, that domino certainly helps the Wolverines, as my on-3 RPM was on the Huskies for Brady Smiggel coming into this Michigan trip. But he spent several days in Ann Arbor, and perhaps Michigan would have jumped Washington anyway. It was a great experience for Brady Smiggel and his family. His father, Joe, who's also his head coach, told me the combination of academics and athletics at Michigan is unmatched. The Wolverines program checks a lot of boxes. I think we're going to know who Michigan's quarterback is in this class over the next week. Brady Smiggel, Nathan Bernhard from Ohio. I have both of them predicted to the Wolverines right now. I think they're in pole position for both. Who's going to take that spot now? Who has that sense of urgency here to be Michigan's quarterback in the 2026 class? But Brady Smiggel had a great visit at Michigan, spent multiple days on campus, highlighted by the spring game, got around Chip Lindsey and Coach Sharon Moore and that staff. They emphasized what a priority he is to their program this cycle. And he's someone that could come in and push Bryce Underwood. He's played a lot of football in high school, been a prolific passer out there for Newberry Park in California. And Michigan and South Carolina look like the two at the forefront, with UCLA also in the picture. But I like where Michigan stands. I like where Michigan stands with Nathan Bernhard. We'll see who takes that spot at the quarterback position for Michigan. I think we'll have that answer soon.
All right, good to know. All right, one of the top DBs out of the state of Georgia, Dorian Barney. We talk about him a lot on this channel. He was also in Ann Arbor for the game. What's the latest on his recruitment?
Well, Chad Simmons and I, we've liked where Texas A&M has stood for Dorian Barney in the last couple months, but he's now taken 2 visits to Michigan this spring. It's obvious that the Wolverines are rising up the list, and at the very least, giving the Aggies run for their money. He likes the opportunity, what Michigan presents on and off the field, the culture, the way they've developed defensive backs. And he had a great time at Michigan. So the Wolverines are a team to watch with Dorian Barney moving forward.
We've talked about running back Javian Osborne quite a bit over the last week. He's going to make that decision May 3rd, and Notre Dame and Michigan are the two teams involved. He was recently at Notre Dame over the weekend. He was at Michigan. But prior to this visit, you had already put in a prediction for Osborne to Notre Dame. How are you feeling about that pick now that Osborne has visited Michigan?
Yeah, at Notre Dame 2 weekends ago, Michigan this past weekend. I still like the Irish for Javian Osborne until someone tells me different. Talked to some sources about it on Monday morning, and it looks like it's still coming up ND as he dots the I's and crosses the T's on his recruiting process. But Michigan's in the thick of it for several other 2026 visitors this weekend, Josh. You have Jeremy J.J. Finch, a touted defensive lineman from Indianapolis, Warren Central, Alabama, Tennessee, LSU, some of the other favorites. But Michigan and Notre Dame right there for Jeremy J.J. Finch, and he had a great visit to Ann Arbor. Matthew Canoe is an on-300 linebacker from Virginia that Penn State is the on-3 RPM favorite for, but the Wolverines are right there pushing Penn State at the very least. And then the number 4 cornerback in the on-3 player rankings, Kerry Adams, visited Michigan. He tells me he's looking to set up an official visit to see the Wolverines after this experience. Penn State's hosting him on Monday. They're a favorite. Notre Dame, LSU, South Carolina, Oregon, some of his other favorites. But Michigan made a move this weekend, and they're looking to get him back to campus this summer on an official.